realized I was LGBT about a year ago on my school trip, and I can't tell you much about it because there's not a whole lot to remember. All I remember is that it just kind of clicked, and at that point I knew that I was gay.
Now, I am 29 years old, and I realised actually only in the last couple of years I'm a very, very late bloomer to this, and I don't think that's all bad. I think that's okay, because, you know, I've had time to sort of work a lot out, I guess. But when I was younger, I definitely had inklings that I may be not straight. But I guess I put that to the back of my mind for many, many years, and I so much did so that it never really became anything until much later on.
So, I knew that I was, you know, interested in other guys and stuff back when I was 14. Well, the first time I was like really 100% like seems like what's going on was when I was 14, and I remember ringing someone and telling them, oh, this is really important, blah blah blah, and I came out as a 14-year-old to my closest friend, and then they told the whole school, and that was fun.
For me, I realized when I was like LGBT when I was in 7th grade. Now, I was in the middle of middle school, basically. Now, in 7th grade, it was like, in the end, I was in the middle of 7th grade when I started questioning my sexuality. I was at this, I was at this dilemma or something, where I was, I didn't know if I was, like, I knew I wasn't straight, but I knew I was, like, attracted to both genders. So, like, that was one thing out of the way. I knew I'm not straight, but I do like girls and I do like boys.
So, have I come out? Yes, obviously. But when? Well, I came out as bi, like I said, April 2012. I was at the end of year 10, and then I realised what pansexual is, and realised and accepted that was me when I was about 16, 17? I don't actually remember when specifically, but I think I was 17. I realised I am also transgender, and so, since I had finally figured myself out in simple terms, I finally answered my long time of questioning, and I learned to accept myself for who I am. So we get to January 2014, okay? And that was when I realised I'm a man. So I made my current Facebook on Valentine's Day that year. So February 2014 was when I started to make my genuine self a bit more public and established online. And after 6 months of volunteering at a local LGBTQ charity, and a few months of understanding my true self and being out and about online, I eventually came out to my closest family as a pan-trans guy on the 4th of June 2014. And I've realistically been out of the closet ever since.
I haven't come out fully yet, but I can definitely say that there will be a time where I will come out, you know, completely open. In fact, doing this very interview right now, this is probably as open as I have ever been. I mean, I've only told a handful of people.
Most people knew online than in real life. I never really came out online. I just sort of did my own thing, and I thought it'd be weird to publicly announce, you know, hey, I'm bi. Like it's I don't think it's really that big of a deal. It's not the most important thing about who I am as a person by a long shot.
It's a lot easier being the way that I am online instead of in real life, because online you're just a normal person to whoever it is you're talking to, but in real life it's an entirely different story. And yeah, I often have to act straight a lot. I'm pretty sure if you met me for the first time, you would not be able to tell that I'm gay.
I did come out online first, but it was only a few months later that I came out to my parents. It's absolutely easier to be out online than it is in real life. I'm not as active in the Sonic community as I used to be, so I can't really speak too much about how accepting they may or may not be, but the fact that you guys are doing this shows that there at least are some parts that are safe for LGBT youth.
Also, I think the benefit of an online community is obviously a more concentrated version of real life. So you are going to see more LGBT type characters online than you may see in day to day, especially if you're younger, and that's a good thing. So you need to see those people online doing their day to day lives. Everything's fine, if that's the right word to use, but they're happy and they're comfortable. It's important people see that, because when you don't see that, then you do wonder, well, maybe I shouldn't, or maybe I shouldn't explore these feelings that I'm having. So the fact that you can actually see examples of people who are doing that and are happy and living great, the happy lives, then it's good. I like it. Yeah.
To be honest, with the Sonic fandom especially, the only really part of the Sonic fandom I'm a part of really is the Sonic show and Twitter. But I will be honest, and I'm going to use the Sonic show as an example here. Like when I first saw the Sonic show, when I started to see people like Jamie online and how the whole setup worked, you know, for me it was very, very obvious that Jay, the Sonic show head boss, hello sir, how are you doing? We're all good today, was obviously gay, and you know, for me that made me feel more comfortable to approach the Sonic show and then offer to do like sort of stuff for it and say, look, do you want me to help you with stuff? And then obviously here I am now. You know, so I felt that there was support there straight away, because I didn't feel that I could go here and be rejected. And to be honest, I haven't had any sort of backlash from the Sonic fandom about being gay whatsoever.
Most easy for me to be myself online, because you always have this, like, you always have your group of friends online or your community that you're in who accepts you and has been in the same situations that you've been in. So like you understand each other, and you I don't know. So yeah, you understand each other, and you're in this, I don't know how to say it. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, so you always understand each other, and you're always like, you know, in this together.
I've been in the Sonic community now for years, and the inclusiveness and support comes in truckloads. Nobody in this community cares about your sexual identity or preferences or gender or whatever. They all come together to celebrate their love and their passion for this blue hedgehog. And that's pretty much it.
If you, any online community that you can find online, when any fandom has a large, you know, dedicated fan base, you will find those fans are considered outcasts, and purely because I think anyone who's super into anything, doesn't have to be video games or Sonic, anything, they feel different. And if you go find an online space where you can relate to other people who are into those same interests, I think you find them more accepting, because everyone, whether they be straight, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, whatever, the one common thread by being in such a hardcore community is that you do feel different. And so while that, like, I've always felt welcome in Sonic communities, while people couldn't relate to like what I was dealing with in terms of sexuality and stuff, they could still relate to me in the sense that they felt different because they were a Sonic fan, and their friends thought it was a bit strange that they were so into it and stuff. So they could relate to me that I didn't feel like in my day-to-day life that I had a place where I belonged. Because they could relate to that, they were much more accepting, and I didn't have to worry about who I was. And then, due to that safer environment, it was a lot easier for me to then build a confidence in who I am, which then translates, I think, into your real life and into your day-to-day life. And that's a really important tool for you to have. So I think forums, you know, Twitter and all this sort of stuff, while there's a lot of nasty people out there, I think if you find a community that you can be part of. It's a valuable tool for working out who you are as a person, and can then be used, adapted to all sorts of different things. So it's good.
I know that there are some bad experiences out there, but from what I've seen, the Sonic fandom tends to be pretty supportive of us, because a lot of Sonic fans are LGBT themselves. So even though we do have a reputation, we do seem to be pretty inclusive of diverse people.
Now, what I would say to the younger people who are still figuring out their sexuality to this day, or even older people, because sexuality, it's something that people can't really discover right away. It takes time. It takes time, days, weeks, months. It takes a while for you to discover what your sexuality is. And only advice I can give to you is, if you're still figuring out your sexuality, take your time. I mean, no one's rushing you. World's not gonna end. Just take your time. And if everyone just doesn't like who you are, just don't care, because in the end, you know you the best.
Is explore your different options. Don't let anyone try to change you. Let you decide for yourself. I know this is kind of generic, but it's really the best advice I could give to anyone who's still trying to look out for themselves.
But I think Sonic would actually not only be a perfect icon for people who are struggling with their LGBT identity, but I think Sonic does deal with those kind of themes of, freedom, being more opened up and all that. Like, Sonic is a character of free will.
It's to really be true to yourself. Be true to what you love and who you love. Being LGBTQ and open is beautiful, and so is embracing all the things you love.
There's nothing to worry about if you are. I mean, yeah, you get some people who are going to judge you. That's fine, because there's plenty of people who won't judge you and who will accept you for who you are. And that's what you've got to remember. There is many, I think, more accepting people than not accepting people. And that's fine, because you are you, and you are beautiful for who you are. And someone will love you for who you are, no matter what. And just be happy with yourself. And I mean, I'm going to be totally honest, since I've come out and since I've figured things out, and I've been totally happier, and I feel more free. I feel that now if I see an attractive female, I don't feel like, oh my god, I can't do this, I can't be attracted. No, and now I'm just like, yeah, she's hot. And now I'm like, I'm so happy that I can think that, and I can let myself think that. Honestly, guys, it's fine to be who you are. And as I said before, and I will strongly tell you this, there will be people that won't accept you, but there will be plenty of people that will accept you. And that's fine.
Well, unfortunately, the internet lets you hide behind anonymity, and also, unfortunately, there will always be people like that. However, on a positive note, to beat one must just be better. Call out the negativity instead of ignoring it. Remember, all it takes for evil to succeed is for good men to do nothing. Good quote.
But wherever you feel you are in this world, be comfortable with that. Realise that there's so many people out there who will support you, and if you're not ready to be that person in your day-to-day life, this gaming community, even though it's about Sonic, but the people behind that fandom will support you, because we all, I think, love each other, and we're all here for each other. And that will always be the case. Don't ever think that won't be the case.
Be who you want to be, not who they tell you to be.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you so much to all the people who contributed to making this video happen. I really appreciate the fact you were able to share your stories with us today. We have two things. One, there's a t-shirt you may see on the screen. It is a Pride Sonic Show t-shirt, only available for 4 weeks. If you go on there, all profits go to Stonewall UK, who are an LGBT charity / foundation, so help us out. That would be super awesome, guys. Also, we have a podcast version of this video. It's much longer. Everyone gets to go into much more detail about their stories and their history, so feel free to check that out. The link is in the description. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Make sure you share the video, spread the love, spread the word, and we will see you guys again sometime in the future. Thank you ever so much. Ciao.
If you could say one thing to everyone in the LGBT community during Pride Month, what would it be? Welcome. Bring it in. Bring it in. That's one word, right? You say one thing. Welcome. 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 We love you.